Okay, we'll be making ISO 7. It looks like this. ISO 7 is going to require a lofting. All right, so we're going to start off with a quick rectangular prism, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 high by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 wide, and it will be extruded 4. Okay, so we're going to do a 5 by 10. Let me just count that again. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, a 5 by 10 extruded 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so starting on the front plane, start in our origin as we like to do. Make sure I have a 2-point rectangle. Okay, this will be 5 by 10. Okay, so let's just snap to it so we can see it. This will be extruded 4. And I'll go away from me. Let's go back in here and make sure I go in that direction. I just prefer that. Okay, so now we're going to do a loft. When we loft things, we need 2 sketches. Okay, so right now we're going to draw a sketch on the front. It's going to be a triangle. So this triangle is going to start 1 inch from this edge and 1 inch from this edge. It'll be up along this edge. I'll have a point somewhere around here and a point somewhere around there. And then the other vertex will be down here, okay, lined up with the center. So we'll do that all with some dimensions. Let's start my first sketch, 2D sketch on this plane or that surface. Grab my line tool. Okay, so here we are. Go down here, and I'm actually going to try to line that up with the center, but I'll add a dimension for it anyway. Now there's several ways we can make this geometry happen. Okay, we can do it all through dimensioning. Another thing you might notice is that these 2 lines are equal. Okay, basically think of the geometry here, 1 inch, 1 inch, and this is in the center. So that's going to force these lines to have to be equal. So if I do that, that's going to do a lot of constraining. This vertex is going to be 1 up from this bottom. So I can add a dimension for that. From here to that vertex will be 1. And I've also got to add dimensions from here to there will be 1. And the same thing. I would have thought that would have gotten driven now. Let's see. Let's see if it'll allow us to add that. It may not. It is. Okay. So this should be symmetrical now. I know what's happened. Let's check this out. What was happening was this was moving. Even though I kind of lined it up with the center, I didn't put a constraint there. So I needed to put both of these dimensions. All right, we see we're fully constrained. Now, we don't extrude anything now. We're going to finish this sketch, and when you loft, you need another sketch. So it's really important that you are using this hold down shift and hold down your roller ball function right now so that you could get to the back of this part and draw on the back of it. So let's start a new sketch and make sure I select the right plane. Okay, just double check on that because otherwise your loft won't work. These 2 sketches have to be in different planes. All right, so let's go to it. We're going to create now this V or this triangle. It's a much smaller triangle. Notice this triangle is 3 from those 2 edges, okay? So if I hover here, I could see the other one. It's going to be smaller. So let's go ahead and we'll draw it first, and then we'll add the dimensions. So I'm just going to kind of sketch this in. Okay, so that's my closed triangle now. Hopefully I've got 3 lines. Let's see. No, I don't think I've got 3 lines. So I'm going to add this 3rd line right now. Okay, there it goes. Now, let's add some dimensions. I need a 3 and a 3, right, from the 2 edges. So let's go to our dimensioning tool. From that point to here will be 3. And from this point to there will be 3. Now, this and this should also be equal. So we can go back to our equal tool and make these two equal. I've got to add one more dimension. I could, before I dimensioned this from bottom to here as 1, it's hard for me to count that. So why not go count from the top this time instead? So if I were to draw a line across here, I could count 1, 2. So let's get our dimensioning tool, and from here to there is 2. Okay, fully defined. Finish my sketch. I've got 2 sketches now. So let's try out our loft tool. Open this all the way up. Here's our loft tool. The loft tool says, do you want to join or cut or do an intersect? We're going to cut. All right. The sections, it'll be from here to there. So let's see. Section. And center line, area loft. Let's try this. I'll take that out of there. Sections. Okay, so it's a little bit trickier in Inventor, so let's watch carefully. I'll select the sketch, one of the sketches first. Select the loft tool, okay? Notice it didn't really do anything for me. So here it says sections. What sections are you lofting between? We can actually loft multiple sections. We're gonna only do two sketches. That's the minimum number. So click to add, you're gonna select a sketch. So I'll select it here. But now I have to select the region of the sketch. So I'll click on that region. Now over here, I go back to sections and I hit click to add again. And it's a little more difficult to select here. So I'll select from my feature tree, sketch 3. And because there's really no other region, it's selecting the region that time. Then when I hit OK, we got to make sure we don't want to join, we want to cut. So I'm going to select cut here and I'll hit OK. And there it goes. That's my loft. So let's take a look. If I put it into isometric, it should look just like this drawing here. And there you are. Very good.